Now, Benedict Cumberbatch has called upon his army of fans to stop filming theatre plays on camera phones. The star made his debut as Hamlet at London's Barbican last week, but found audience cameras so distracting, he made this appeal at the stage door.
I can see cameras, I can see red lights in the auditorium, and it may not be any of you here that did that, but it's blindingly obvious, like that one there, that little red light. It's very, very obvious. It's mortifying. There's nothing less supportive or enjoyable as an actor being on stage experiencing that. And I can't give you what I want to give you, which is a live performance that you will remember, hopefully, in your minds and brains, whether it's good, bad or indifferent, rather than on your phones.
So, are we a society that's become obsessed with recording everything on a smartphone? Have we forgotten how to live in the moment? I'm joined by behavioural psychologist Jo Hemmings and Richard Gresham, who's the founder of the Theatre Charter, a campaign to crack down on rowdy audience members. Well, Richard, if I can start with you. Is Benedict Cumberbatch being a little bit precious about all of this? He's a professional. Shouldn't he just get on with it?
No, he's not being precious at all. As he said, it is mortifying, and it's mortifying for both actors and it's mortifying for both audience as well. You know, we've all paid good money to go and see a production. Theatre is a beautiful moment, and for just a couple of hours in your life you can turn your phone off and enjoy the magic and mystery of theatre. Light is very distracting, not only to the actors, but as us as paying members of the audience.
Jo, it's not just in performances though, is it? I mean, we obviously see people using their smartphones a lot in plays and musical events and all the rest of it, but it's spreading. We seem to want to get our phones out and record things wherever it's going on.
Constantly. I mean, it's sort of a ripple effect, if you like, a social contagion where it's become acceptable to do so. The more it happens, the more people jump on that bandwagon and they do it. But they're almost replacing, I mean, memory is a cognitive process in your brain, so people now seem to be, rather than absorbing it, remembering it, enjoying it, actually they're concentrating on filming it, so that there is, eventually that part of our cognitive brain will sort of be replaced by a smartphone, effectively. I
mean, but isn't that the question for both of you? I mean, isn't it the fact now that young people, everyone wants to attract young people to come to their events, whether it's plays or music or whatever, or even political gatherings, and you've got to accept that anyone under the age of 35, social media is a massive part of their lives now, and don't we have to accept that they want to bring that and somehow incorporate it into their experience?
I mean, 100% I agree that we do, but I think it's the time and the place for everything. I think actually an open-air music gig, it's perfectly acceptable. It's what goes on. It's part of the atmosphere. People enjoy it. But I think, as Richard was saying, in a theatre, which generally has a quiet atmosphere and you can be disturbing the actors as well as the audience, you simply have to learn that there's a time and a place, and a theatre isn't it.
I don't want to accept it. That's why I've started the campaign. It's all about, good manners and good behaviour. And I think if we do accept it, then in 10 years' time, it will just be the norm, and I won't be going to the theatre anymore. It just doesn't bode well for what's going on in the theatre at the moment.
I mean, isn't there an argument to say that actually we should be incorporating, this is almost like a new art form you could start to create, if you like, by having the audience participating in that sort of way?
If it's that kind of play, yeah. If they've asked you to tweet, or if they've asked you to put your phone on and have some light in, then that's fine. If that's part of the artistic experience, I've got no problem with that. But as a play, as a 2 hours in the dark, especially in something like Hamlet, when you've got to concentrate on the words, and then somebody beside you is tweeting or is taking a call or eating their sweets loudly or whatever they're doing to distract you, it's just...
Okay, I mean, Jo, it's not just in performances. We say, the Queen, for instance, recently got quite upset when she felt that, in the old days she'd turn up somewhere and people would be sort of coming forward trying to take it, and then she was just met with this battery of the back of phones.
No, I can see why that can be quite alarming. I mean, I'm a great fan of social media. I love Twitter, and I like seeing people's videos on it, and even on Facebook. But I think it is recognising when it becomes intrusive. I don't want to sound as old as Methuselah here. I know young people like to do it and they're never going to stop. But there's just a sense, actually, if you pause for a moment, you might recognise that you're enjoying something without using a smartphone.
Richard, last word to you.
I get tweeted by a lot of young people who are really supportive of this and are really behind, good behaviour at the theatre. And it's not just my age group that is moaning about this. We're all engaged in this, and they are all behind it for me.
I mean, he talked tonight about, Benedict Cumberbatch, about devices in the theatre. Do you have any idea what that might be?
I wish I knew, because I'd buy one.
OK. Well, he's on stage in about another hour. We'll see if there's any change in the audience's behaviour tonight. But thank you very much to both of you for that.
Thank you.